thrive. I'm talking about the external things. So to some extent, we all have to compromise, accommodate. I can't just come up to this university and act, you know, in certain ways and expect that I'm going to get tenure. I don't care what racial background I am. So therefore, I think that sometimes this condemning people who are trying to assimilate, people who are trying to accommodate, is not always a healthy phenomenon. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think that assimilating accommodation is necessarily bad, as long as your inner spirit remains free and independent. Your externals can, I think, conform to the society in which you're trying to function. I mean, you've got to function in the world that's given you. So that's what my objection is. I don't know if that's a comprehensible thing. It's developed over my whole life. I've had many contacts with many people from all the groups that we're speaking about, and I've always argued about these things with them. And I still think that's what's happened to break down the strong societal institutions. The fact that it's been emphasized too much that you can't assimilate and accommodate to the society that you're trying to function. Now, if you're a rich man, like, what's the guy that used to own CNN, Ted Turner, or if you're like the guy up in Seattle, Washington, what's his name? Bill Gates. You can do anything you want. You don't have to conform. You don't have to go to someone else to get your salary. You know, you don't have to walk in, so-called meet the man, if you want to call it that. You can be it any way you want. No one's going to, you don't have to answer to anybody. But to get to the level of Bill Gates and these other people, who's that guy who's got the reality show with the funny hair? Donald Trump. You know, to get to that level, you really probably have to put in a lot of work to get there. It doesn't fall on you by accident. Those people are like, I'm sure when they're our age, which is why we're not like them, they're like little busy beavers. I'm probably busy. Bill Gates was at his computer probably from the time he was 15, and he even left Harvard when he was a sophomore. He didn't even bother finishing. Went home. He was so sure of himself. So these kind of people, you know, they put their time in. We just don't see it. They put their time in. That's what society demands. You know, whether you like it or not, that's the world we live. If we were all hunter-gatherers, we wouldn't have to bother. We go out and hunt buffalo, or if we go out, you know, I was just hearing a thing about locusts in Africa. You know, if we go out and get some land, grow our crops, do whatever we like, independent of all other people, except for the fact that other roving bandit tribes might come and beat us over the head if we had anything, and, you know, we could write our own rule book. But unfortunately, we're stuck in this society that we created, this huge, amorphous society, and there are certain things that all of us have to do to, if we want to progress it. We don't have to. We have to, in order to progress it. So I recommend, no, I'm a jerk. I recommend doing what you have to do to get along, like Rodney King said. You know, and if you feel you can get along without doing these things, fine. Okay, let's go over to Black Elk. We're talking about Black Elk, and some of the same problems are occurring here that we just spoke about in the little pep talk I just gave you guys, trying to explain myself as a person. And by the way, what I say doesn't matter. When you write an essay, you don't have to ape me. Noelle, for instance, doesn't expect you to ape everything I say. All she wants you to do is to show familiarity with the material and be able to discuss it in an intelligent way. In fact, if you disagree with everything I say, that's fine. I'm just trying to, as a teacher, react to it myself, because I'm not like a total robot, and you know, I'm not like one of those puppet creatures that they used to put on their lap, those ventriloquists used to have. Howdy Doody, you don't have those people anymore. Charlie McCarthy, Howdy Doody, you guys don't have those people. You have the Muppets or something like that. We're not just Muppet creatures. You guys remember Howdy Doody? Nobody here knows who Howdy Doody was? Yeah. You know who looks like Howdy Doody? Before he got gray hair wearing over Iraq, Tony Blair. He looked to me, he looked just like Howdy Doody, actually, the British Prime Minister. Then Iraq came along and he turned into something different, but he looks like Howdy Doody. All right, so we have a situation where this American writer in the Depression is going out to the reservation to interview this shaman, and the shaman's name is Black Elk, and this is on page 23 of your book, Roman numeral.